As we enter into the fourth week of Lenten journey to recover our intimacy with God, we turn to the issue of light and the ability to see. The blindness is an awful thing. 2 days back, I was driving in town, stopped the vehicle at the signal. I saw a blind man using his white cane in his hand, walking in between vehicles and looking for help. It was very pitiable condition because he can't see the face of the person whom he is looking for help, and for him everything around him dark. The blindness is an awful reality in life. The ability to see is a wonderful blessing, but very often we take it as granted. One of the central points of the today's gospel story is that the incredible stubbornness of strongly held religious ideas, which not only do not lead the people closer to God, but also actually separate people from God. And that's what the Pharisees and scribes were trying to do. And to them, Jesus very clearly says, quoting Isaiah, he said that Isaiah prophesies rightly, "These people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching human precepts as doctrine. You abandon the commandment of God and hold to human traditions." Mark chapter 7, verses 6 to 8. Jesus continued to call them blind, spiritually blind. They are refusing to accept and see the reality as it is because of the prejudices. So Jesus invites them and us to re-examine ourselves and turn to God. That is what we are called to do during the time of Lent. There are two components in the ability to see: light and sight. Someone may have the ability to see, but if there is no light in the outer world, they can't see in fact. There has to be a source of illumination. On the other hand, all the illumination in the world does not help if a person who is blind. Light in the outer world does not translate into ability to see. Through this gospel passage, Jesus shows a great relationship between sight and light. Because without sight, we can't see the light. But without light, sight is useless. Jesus says, "As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." And in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus continued to say that I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So Jesus' presence itself lightens our life. And that's what happened to the blind man in our today's gospel. When the blind man comes to contact with Jesus, who is the light of the world, he not only received the gift of physical sight, but also the gift of spiritual sight. That's the reason, though he was not sure who gave me the sight, when the Pharisees and others asked him. But later, when he encountered Jesus, the sight giver, and conversation with Jesus, and where Jesus revealed himself to him who he is, then what we see is that the blind man, the one who received the sight, professed his faith and kneeling down before him, saying, Lord, I believe, and worshipped him. That's what every Christian is supposed to do in our day-to-day life. Recognizing the Lord, the giver of all the gifts and talents God has given to us, and be grateful to him. And every day, like the blind man, we may be able to profess our faith in God, saying, I believe, Lord, and kneeling down and worship him. Today, the liturgy of the word invites us to examine ourselves to see whether we are spiritually blind or not. Ask our Lord to give us the gift of spiritual sight that may help us to live as the children of light in our day.